Green Monday here at Harville Road. We're expecting Jonathan Bartley around later. He's a MP from the Green Party. And what you can see in the road right now here is as a result of Sarah jumping on the digger, which you can see in the background on the road. The security and Murphy's have had to put a fence up on the outside of the road. They can deliver anything without us jumping on their vehicles, basically. Bit of a crazy morning. Lots and lots of security, as you can see, in Murphy workers and the digger. That's really it for now. It's nice to see the trees still there. Let's hope that stays forever. Yeah. Say hello to some people. We're on the fire. We'll do a little bit more live streaming later when Jonathan arrives. Okay. See you later.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jonathan Bartley. I'm co-leader of the Green Party. This is Facebook Live. I am in Hillingdon, just next to the Colne Valley here, and this is the site, if we pan around here, of HS2 route that is planned. You can see the lorries coming past. I've been up here just talking to the people who are camped here, right over to the right. You can see people who are camping and protesting against HS2. I'm here supporting those people who are doing that. I'm just going to check that your finger might be under the mic. No? Okay. Just check that you can hear me all right. I learned from my mistakes last time. I've just been hearing all about the proposed project. It's going to cost tens of billions. 58 billion is one of the estimates, perhaps when you factor in all the costs, as much as 100 billion pounds. That is almost the entire NHS budget. It is a massive, massive amount of money just to shave off a few minutes from the trip from London by train up to the Midlands and beyond. But what you don't appreciate until you actually come here and look at the site is that you think that the train line is just going to be kind of a small line that goes through the countryside. Actually, it's just here in Hillingdon. It's going to ride roughshod. It's going to destroy. It's an act of environmental vandalism over around 320, 340 acres just in Hillingdon. It's going to destroy woodland. There's going to be a real threat to the water supply. There are 5 lakes around here. We've already heard that all the fish in one lake have already died. There's going to be drilling through the aquifer, through the water that's in the chalk here. Now, this area alone supplies 22% of London's water in Hillingdon. It's also the lungs of London. There are so many trees here, and you can see all this forest behind me, a lot of it ancient woodland. Already there's huge destruction of trees. There's going to be massive destruction of trees. Hello! We're getting a lot of support from people coming by. This is an act of environmental vandalism on an industrial scale. It's absolutely colossal and huge. And you wonder, why the other parties didn't kick up a fuss, didn't oppose this. And the Green Party are the only party that are opposing HS2. And you come down here and you realise why. Because no amount of money is going to replace the destruction to the wildlife, destruction to the ecosystem. The Environmental Audit Committee, even at the House of Commons, has said there's no way you can offset what's going on here. Now, I want to introduce you to a few people here, particularly one person actually, Sarah. Where is Sarah? Oh, there. I thought you were sitting down there. Sarah, we're doing a Facebook Live. Okay. Sarah, tell us your story, how you came to be here. You've been here 5 weeks now. Yes. And you used to work locally. You're a local resident.
Oh, local resident, Uxbridge, but working on the canal. The canal, 2 kilometres, is threatened. It's got the same planning permission as the old woodland at the top of the hill here, so the whole lot of it can be taken. And from the plans, that's what they intend to do. And it's the most beautiful, magical place. It needs to be seen to be believed.
Yeah. So earlier on we were just up there and Sarah was showing me the view across the valley, and HS2 is going to come right from down this way. You can see where they cleared the trees already, and it's going to come across here and take in that kind of route across over there. It's going to go straight through a house with a blue plaque in the middle there, and right, the whole area is a massive concrete electric station here, and then another one there. So it's taking up a massive area. It's the haul
roads and the access roads. They want down both sides of the canal. They want access roads for heavy machinery, and that means all the trees going in, all the species. And it's species rich. It's wet woodland. It's biodiversity priority. It's the most wonderful place. Has to be saved.
Now, Sarah, tell us a bit about what you've been doing, because you haven't just been camping here.
Well,
we've been
challenging the tree cutters. Every time we see any of the ground control going in there, we try and get into the inner compound, because if you get into the inner compound where they're working, they have to stop work. So we've managed that a few times.
A few days ago you were on top of a digger.
Oh yeah, that was in the traffic control zone. And they had
So
a
they've
lot
now
of trouble.
extended the traffic control zone as a result.
Well, no, they've to make it hard to do it, which I think then gives them permission to remove people. I think that's what they're doing.
So I'm immensely proud to be part of a party that supports things like this. The fact that you are willing to take peaceful, direct action against it. But it's also drawing attention to something. I mean, I think people haven't realised the full implications of what this means.
And how mad it is. Yes. And we get all the tunnels full from the tunnel under London and the tunnel under Chiltern. All of it comes on lorries and it all gets dumped on the fields around Chiltern.
You say that this they've just put out and don't even know whether they got permission for it here.
Yeah.
They don't even know if they've got planning permission.
No, they've got
produce
no
evidence of plan.
specific plans for this at all.
And you see the security all lined up
Yes.
inside. How was the experience like?
We've made some friends, to be honest, because, you know, they're here all the time, we're here all the time, and some of them are nice people.
Exchanging Christmas gifts.
That's it. But having said that, there have been groups that of security that haven't been very good, and some of them have moved on.
So how many companies are involved on the site?
There's at least three security companies.
Yeah.
And the main contractor is Costain Skanska. They're the principal contractor. And they seem to be giving out all
They're
contracts to everyone.
subcontracting.
To Murphy. And to Cadence.
I hear there'll be about 550 lorries a day.
That's what's been signed off by Ray Puddifoot, leader of Hillingdon Council, our beloved council that sold us out all the way. He has signed off 550 daily movements of SUVs at the Swateleys Ranch. Which is
just up there, isn't it?
Yeah, already
It's very congested right
congested.
So air pollution's going to go right up.
Sky high.
Congestion's going to go right
This
up.
is the green lungs of London being destroyed. 7,000 trees in London when air pollution's already been.
Where's the mayor stand on it?
The
Mayor is supposed to be championing air quality. It's
Exactly.
supposed to be
He
championing
supports
trees.
HS2.
Yeah, he's ignored any letters I've written so far.
It's absolutely astonishing that there seems to be no other party standing up at all.
It's shocking.
No.
And so it comes down to local people having to.
This is
Yeah.
so unpopular. Nobody wants
Yeah.
HS2.
And Hillingdon Council are full square behind it.
Full square, they're giving every consent, rushing it through. They're not holding it up.
Despite local people making their opposition absolutely.
Well, I think what Hillingdon Council did, they had a pretence of being against HS2
Yeah.
until about a week before they were due to give evidence in the House of Lords.
Yeah.
And they had gone to local people saying, tell us your concern, we'll represent them. And then they capitulated, gave no evidence. And they took 26.5 million for relocating the outdoor activity centre, but they're obviously getting a hell of a lot more money. I think when the truth comes out about the money that Hillingdon Council are really getting, I think
So you feel like they've been bought off?
Oh, definitely, yes. No other way.
Just when you see trees either side and you suddenly see clearing like that and you see the clearing like that, you realise quite how much has happened already.
Yes.
And how much is going to happen.
Yes. And the trees at the top, when
Yeah.
you could see no daylight through. It was solid. It was absolutely beautiful, and it was hundreds of years old, all the way back to those trees there. You see, solid. And that was where we had seen a lot of evidence of battles and many
But
others.
look, tell me about what you've been doing, because I've been following.
Can you show people where you're staying?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Sure.
Show me your home.
All right. So this is our communal space, our wonderful view of what we're trying to say.
getting chillier every
Kitchen
day as well.
area.
Are you getting people bringing you? You've got mince pies in already.
We have
Excellent.
so much support,
Yeah.
so many donations because nobody wants HS2. So this is our office. This tent is donated by the Fishing Tackle Club, and because all of the fishing lakes are being one of the 5 lakes are being impacted. One of the lakes has had fish there, 30-year-old fish. All the fish died in September. All the fish died, and that report hasn't come out because all of the toxicology,
I might just wait. Thank you very much.
all of the evidence all went to Hillingdon Council. So again, that's something Hillingdon Council should be speaking out against. But they're not.
But they're not.
They're not.
Being connected to the money though.
Yes. But so the fishing, all the fishing people, they support us.
Watch out. Does it get chilly? It must get chilly.
You can cope that.
All right. Brilliant. So earlier on we were just up there and Sarah was showing me the view across the valley and HS2 is going to come right from down this way. You can see where they cleared the trees already. It's going to come across here and take in that kind of route across over there. It's going to go straight through a house with a blue plaque in the middle there and right the whole area. There's a massive concrete electric station here and then another one there. So it's taking up
It's
a
the
massive
haul
area.
roads and the access roads. That,
Yeah.
They want down both sides of the canal. They want access roads for heavy machinery, and that was a key problem. And it's the species finch. It's quite woodland. It's biodiversity, biology. It's a wonderful place. It has to be said.
Sarah, tell us a bit about what you've been doing. Because you haven't just been camping here.
Well,
What
we've
things have
been,
you
we've been challenging the tree cutters. Every time we see any of the ground control going in there, we try and get into the inner compound because if you get into the inner compound where they're working, they have to stop work. So we've managed that a few times.
A few days ago you were on top of a digger.
Oh yeah, that was in the traffic control zone. And they had
So
a lot
they've now
of trouble.
extended the traffic control zone as a result.
Well, no, they've fenced in the traffic control zone to make it part of the building site, which I think then gives them permission to remove people. I think that's what they're doing.
So I am immensely proud to be part of a party that supports things like this. The fact that you are willing to take peaceful, direct action against it. But it's also drawing attention to something. I think people haven't realised the full implications of what this means.
And how mad it is. We've got climate change. We have to protect the nature we've got. That's what the Paris Climate Change Agreement says. Protect the nature we've got. What HS2 is doing is attacking and targeting all the green spaces all the way up the country. You know, madness.
Our phone's died.
Keep going, keep going.
Darn it! Are you on Facebook Live? Brilliant. At least we got another one going.
What are the Green Party going to do about
Well,
it centrally?
we're supporting it. I tell you what, coming down here, the more I've talked to you, the angrier I've got about what is happening here, and the more you've told me about it. I knew it was bad. I knew it was bad for the local environment. I knew it was bad in terms of tackling climate change. I didn't realise the absolute devastation and environmental vandalism that this project is. Just taking me out there, seeing what's going to change around here, seeing the huge destruction of the wildlife, the habitat around here. I mean, we have to do absolutely everything in our power to stop it. So, we've been chatting about putting in some parliamentary questions about what's going on. There's a massive lack of accountability, since from what you told me.
Yes.
They haven't even got planning permission. They don't think they need it, but you've dug around, you realise that they do need it. There are some real issues about the risk assessments, and no one seems to be wanting to game out what potential risks to the water are, for example. And whether the full impact assessment has been done. I think there are a lot of questions about that to raise. Certainly encouraging other people to come down and support what you're doing, to support the local community in trying to stop what's happening here, and drawing public attention to it, and getting the campaign up to another level to
And the interesting thing is that you don't need the rest of it to go in. The police are taking the line that it's a civil matter, because they're not quite sure whether they need planning permission, whether the council things, are all in place. So anyone can come and hold up work by trespassing, which is what we're doing and what we're asking everyone else to join us.
And the other thing was, we talked about trying to contact the police and find out where those that are carrying out this work have acted illegally, because it does seem that in some respects there needs to be an investigation about what's been happening to the wildlife. The bats, the badgers, seems to potentially be something illegal that's been going on. The police need to investigate. Thank you so much, very much so. We'll stop it there because my phone died. You still got your Facebook Live going. we've got BBC down as well, so we'll talk to them as well. Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Now, the Green Party co-leader says he's fully supportive of protesters who've set up in the path of the proposed HS2 rail line. Jonathan Bartley visited their makeshift camp in Harefield, West London today. In recent weeks, demonstrators have chained themselves to diggers in protest. The company behind the project has vowed to protect endangered wildlife, but says it did have the legal powers to cut down hundreds of trees. Our political editor, Tim Donovan, reports.
On a muddy verge directly on the route of the proposed new train line, a small camp has been set up. It could be here some time.
We're all here investing our time and energy for the purpose that we are going to stop this, and we're all very hopeful and positive that that's going to happen.
Do you think you can stop it?
It'd be nice. I think we need more people if we're going to, more animal activists, more nature lovers, more wildlife lovers generally, if they all come along and make it a nice sort of party,
Sarah's been here longest and has already made her mark. One night she slept beneath a digger. Last week she climbed up this crane. More fencing and more security have now been put in place. The high-speed rail route has the legal backing of an Act of Parliament, but Sarah says the works have already breached EU law on habitats.
About 500 trees have been cut, all different ages, including some very, very old trees. And no attempt has been made to protect any of the wildlife. Well, that's clearly against the Habitats Directive. It's clearly illegal. Our wonderful view of what we're trying to save. Kitchen area.
Today she had a visit from the Green Party's leader and gave him a tour.
Okay, this is our office. This tent donated by the fishing tackle shop.
And he offered his strong support.
When a local community has been ignored, has been sidelined, when the council has been bought off, as so it seems, by the money from HS2, the only means of stopping this massive destruction is for local people to take direct action. And absolutely it's right that they should do it, and absolutely right that we should support it.
It may only take an hour and a quarter to get from London to Birmingham on the existing track now, but those who back a high-speed rail route through this landscape say it will greatly increase connectivity to Leeds, Manchester and beyond, and bring huge economic benefits to the whole country. Realistically, you won't claim that you can stop this route, will you? I mean, is it about just slowing it? Is it about delaying it?
I think we should be optimistic about what we can achieve, and I would like to see this project stopped, absolutely, and scrapped.
Today, a spokesman for HS2 said he understood the strong feelings in the area, but everything was being done to limit the impact on woodland, wildlife and local communities. Tim Donovan, BBC London News.
Hello. Beautiful, isn't it? I thought I'd take you for a walk today. I'm down by the Harefield Activity Centre on Horak Lake, where HS2 is going to cut through. Be a bit of a pretty bit for their line, they hope. We hope not, because we think they're going to destroy the infrastructure, the habitat, and all the wildlife. Whilst just sort of, they just want to get a picture for themselves. They come out and experience it. They should just get off their train idea and come for a wander. It's really, really beautiful down here. Anyway, ready for the walk. It's a bit down here. This is the Harefield Adventure Centre, Activity Centre, sorry. In the summer we could hear kids having a fun time, drumming, doing their activities. I think it's really good for people to be able to come out and experience outside. We really need to promote nature with our children. I think their life really depends on that. I really do. We've become far too removed, in my opinion. Yeah, so we're still on the line. I should imagine all of these trees are going to be gone. Bit of a shame. Well, much more than a bit of a shame. It's horrific. There's very little of this sort of habitat left around in British Isles. I mean, we cut all our woods down a long time ago to start animal farming, and really we've pushed it all around the world. I hold Britain really quite accountable for a lot of what's gone on in the world, not everything, but just get up here a little bit. So, mitigation. Let's talk about mitigation. So, like HS2 is coming through both sides of here. All of this hedgerow is going. All of that hedgerow is going. Can only hope they're going to leave some trees. So I don't actually know. They can be a bit weird about things, these people. They do like to leave an odd bit of nature just to look at, I suppose. Yeah, they're mitigation sites. They also want to put in ponds and things, part of their propaganda, but they're actually helping nature. I mean, this feels pretty nice, you know, as it is, and it is starting to turn into good habitat because it's been compulsory purchased by HS2 like 2 or 3 years ago. But the other side is just magic, yeah, and it's crazy that they want to dig this up to do anything else with. They want to help nature. This field's actually completely covered in teasels and milk thistle and all sorts of birds. I mean, I don't know them all, but I certainly know like about goldfinches and things and this sort of stuff. Teasels, like, are just, you know, we don't get that everywhere anymore, you know, or hardly at all. I mean, a lot of nature's been killed off with, like, you know, our pesticides and herbicides and God knows what else. So yeah, all this hedge, I mean, it's crazy the amount of nature that's actually there. It looks like it's starting to die off, but it is sort of going to sleep for winter. But there's all sorts of bugs hibernating and, you know, waiting to wake up in like new forms next year in the spring. Okay, I was slightly glitched out, went a bit wrong, so I'm back. I mean, just over there is where the Harville Adventure Centre is. I'm on the corner of Teasel Field, so I was showing you. And I wanted to show you this. This is recent developments. It doesn't look much, but it definitely means something. We have seen people down here think they're dressed as plain clothes. They seem to stand in corners of fields, sort of a bit too random to be general public, I think. And so yeah, people have been down and marked up the ground, which shows work is imminent. Back on the hedgerow along here, this is all meant to be being taken out. We're assuming it's all going to be taken, the trees and everything. So this oak tree here, I don't know that it has got bats in it, but it is definitely potential bat roosts in there. There's badgers around. I'm not really meant to show you because we're not really meant to show you. So yeah, something I wanted to talk about was enabling works. I'm not sure if everyone knows what enabling works are. And maybe when you think about like the train line going down, you think that it's just a train line going down. So really, there's just going to be a swathe of nature cleared that's wide enough to stick a train through. But there's all sorts of other things going on. You can't see it right from here, but they're going to reroute power cables. They cut another swathe out for that. They want to put in gas works, new gas mains. They cut another swathe for that. There's power stations up in the next field planned. I mean, there's definitely an auto feeder station planned for in this field, which we're about to walk into. Apparently the train really isn't going to be that eco-friendly even when it's built. It's actually going to be powered with electricity from a nuclear power station. I was told the name, but I'm sorry, it's really terrible, I forget things, you know. You start to see up in the distance the Harville Road site, and I didn't manage to show you much yesterday. I didn't manage to show you anything. Bit of a weird day. Being sent weird hacking style messages, which just it's just mental. We've got Black Cat down here playing a guitar. You say hello on the way past you. Hello, Black Cat. Got anything to say? It's live. Please do not swear. It's got to be quite honest. Don't swear. There's the enemy's fortress. They run up and down there from the site every sort of 3 hours. They're not allowed to stay out all night, but I still think they're basically modern day slaves. It must be absolutely freezing just stood outside. It's cold in the tent at night. Right, back at the site. I know it's not really very easy to see sometimes on my films. I will try and get the best view I can. You can sort of see what's happened so far since they've got their digger back in. Building a road up through there. Sort of a works compound. I think it's going to have anything to do with the end structure. Up along there somewhere, about 7 metres above where we are now, they want to build a road, which is actually a bridge, and I think the train will come under it somewhere. I don't think all the trees which are going to be cut down here have been cut down yet. I'm pretty sure they haven't actually. I think all of this is going. Estimating around about 500 trees gone so far. The result is actually in their paper. It's 3,000 trees in total. And then down the other way, where I've just come from, I mean, there's more woodland beyond where I started from. There's about another 4,000 trees that they want to cut down. Big trees like this, and I'm learning all the time myself. And I posted a video several times last week about how trees actually communicate with each other, feed each other, you know, essentially love each other. Plants do have feelings. And of course they give us air. What are we going to do about that? Yeah, not going to work for the human species to get rid of all these old trees. They say they replace, you know, one for one or whatever, but, you know, trees need room to actually turn into their ultimate being. Some are going to do better than others. I don't think their one for one's really going to be one for one. I think probably 4 out of every 5 will die. That's just my own opinion. Just have a little look up here. There might be someone who wants to say hello. Hello.
Hello.
You're live on Hippie TV. Please do not swear.
Okay. Please.
Anything to report?
Pretty quiet today in there. There's quite a few obvious ways in if we wanted to disrupt the work, but they are confining themselves to their inner compound, so they're not doing too much damage. It's only an area they've already damaged.
Well. Lots of these lorries about. This is very sad. We've had the digger in, removed the topsoil and the undersoil. The company's actually meant to be saving the topsoil, apparently looking after the mycelium. I'm not really sure that's happened at all. In fact, I'm sure that hasn't happened at all. And then they're going to fill the hole up with hardcore rubbish. It really doesn't seem like progress to me. They say there's going to be 550 lorries a day up and down this road before long. Can you imagine how much hardcore being brought in, mycelium, soil, Mother Nature being destroyed, going out. We really as a race, need to stop doing this to nature. We haven't got anywhere near enough wildlife around, left. It's all going to be under tarmac before long, especially if the elite get their way. Well, it seems like they might have got it wrong. I mean, we know they've got it wrong, but I mean, they've really got it wrong. The security are having arguments with each other. I don't think they're going to be able to fit their other lorry in right now. Might have to go away and come back.
How's your head? Fine. Oh, it's quite nasty. It's quite nasty.
Oh, the yeah, I do. Yeah.
The next entrance, which used to be a car park, you go along there, there's an old, it's not so easy to use the car park. There's an old building boat.
In other news, we've had some sort of success, if you want to call it that, with reporting our wildlife crime from around 5-6 weeks ago, and we've actually got a wildlife crime officer coming today, a bit later today. I'm going to talk to Frank. Frank, you want to wave, Frank? Well, I think if I wait for this lot to actually empty their lorry, I'm going to end up with my arm falling off. So I'll leave you there.
Catch you in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't feel the cold.
Come for a cup of tea sometime.
Did you say Hardy?
Yeah.
Hardy lot. No, it's not that cold, is it?
No, it's nice. We've got the fire.
Yeah, the fire's lovely.
What did he say? Oh, this is like a comedy sketch.
It is a comedy. Watching
Well,
them
it is,
work
yeah,
is
it is
an
a comedy.
absolute comedy.
It's a shame you weren't here when the traffic control went wrong.
When what?
When the traffic control went wrong.
Oh, what happened?
All the cars met in the middle, twice in a row.
No.
Yeah, the drone footage is amazing. If you see the drone footage, you can see all the devastation that's happened already. And like I said, if you watch the Natural Guard, the video from the Natural Guard, the guy and his son doing a running commentary.
the M331? This is nice to get up here. Close to the M331. That's what, because I rang the bell and it just kept coming. No, just say you're going to get up here. Right. It will take you a little bit further. The dog stop, no, that one. I go to the dog stop. That I go down. Oh, you just yeah, you have to flag it. You have to flag it. They come very well.
It's about the 10th load of hardcore that they poured into the ground so far. This is actual violence against nature. We don't need any more trains, don't need any more roads. We need to let the nature have a certain amount of the world, you know, room to roam. Got the trees which are still here are going to be cut down. I know lots of people think, oh, it's a gap in the hedge. It's really not. We want to take another 2,500 trees from this side of the road, another 4,000 trees from behind where we're sat. And this is just a little tiny bit in the Colne Valley. It's got 98 ancient pieces of woodland that are going to be affected by this. Cut down, covered in concrete. Also, the elitist people of the world can travel alone without the likes of us riff-raff in their sights.
They're not meant to come on the pavement, you know. Lots of traffic controls. And in there, these here.
Fucking dump right
Here.
there near,
Alice was standing
ago. That was
here
right.
by the fire.